Hello, I'm Brian Collins, father, husband, executive, and above all, a believer in the future of this planet and the people who inhabit it. As a boy, I remember lying on my back in a field near my grandparents' farm, looking up at the stars. I didn't know then that one day I'd be sitting across from scientists who study them, or debating with engineers who believe humanity's survival depends on reaching them. But even then, I thought this world had potential far beyond what we see. I run Collins World Relief with my wife, Amara. Together, we've made it our mission to tackle the world's most persistent and unnecessary tragedy: hunger, not from lack of food, but from a distribution failure. The truth is that the Earth produces more than enough to feed everyone. The systems, the infrastructure, the politics, the logistics fail. So we built something better. Global distribution modeled on high-speed precision systems like Amazon Fresh, scaled not for profit, but for people. I don't say this to boast. I say it because I've seen what's possible when vision meets purpose. And because I believe the greatest threat to humanity isn't scarcity or conflict, it's apathy. You might be wondering why someone like me, born into a life of opportunity, didn't choose the easy road. Why I left the private luxury resort business, Collins Resorts International, to focus on food deserts and disaster zones. The answer is simple. I looked into my daughter's eyes one morning when she was a little girl, and I realized I couldn't hand her a world I'd only taken from. I wanted to help build a world worthy of her. She's grown into a young woman who challenges, teaches, and surprises me. Jenna is fearless and deeply thoughtful. She has my stubbornness and her mother's grace. Recently, she brought someone into our lives, someone who's made me rethink what's possible. Derek Jones? Now, you hear a name like that, and maybe it doesn't mean much. But I felt something rare when I shook that young man's hand. He wasn't trying to impress me. He didn't posture or overcompensate. He met my gaze, spoke directly, and, most importantly, listened. He's got a mind like a magnetic field, drawing in ideas, constantly scanning for truth. But more than that, he's got a heart tuned to a higher frequency. You can't teach that. And frankly, you can't fake it. I've sat across from world leaders, prime ministers, heads of secret agencies, and too many of them have forgotten that leadership isn't about power. It's about stewardship. And Derek, for all his youth, understands that on a level most adults never do. He reminds me of something I say often. Wisdom isn't an age, it's a frequency. You either hear it or you don't. He hears it. Now, I won't pretend to understand everything going on around us. These are strange times. I've heard whispers of technologies beyond our grasp, dark mirrors, interstellar tunnels, ancient civilizations watching from afar. I'm not a physicist, but I know how to read people, and I know when someone carries a burden far heavier than their years. Derek is, and my daughter walks beside him willingly. This is why, when Rick Jones, Derek's father and the CEO of New Physics Corporation, invited us to partner on humanitarian logistics using advanced technology, I didn't hesitate. Some would say it's unwise to mix family and business. I say it's foolish to ignore destiny when it knocks on your door. Our partnership isn't built on dollars. It's built on a shared belief that the human species is not doomed to destroy itself, that with the right minds, the right hearts, and the right technologies, we can leap forward together. Some still ask, Brian, do you think we can end world hunger, climate change, collapse? And I answer with a smile. No, not alone, but we can build systems that outlast us, that grows beyond us, and if we do that right, our children will finish the work we began. That's the power of legacy, not just in what we leave behind, but in who we raise to carry it forward. Jenna and Derek are part of that next wave. They are the future I once only dreamed of, a generation more connected, conscious, and willing to stare down impossible odds than any before them. And maybe, just maybe, they'll lead us to a new kind of civilization, one that values knowledge without arrogance, power without cruelty, and love without fear. People say I'm an optimist. I take that as a compliment, because cynicism never fed a single child. It never built a single home or ended a single war. Optimism, on the other hand, it starts movements. It creates alliances. It builds bridges between worlds, and maybe someday soon between galaxies. So wherever this story goes next, whether it ends at the edge of the solar system or in some distant galaxy, we'll keep doing what we've always done, putting people first, solving the problem in front of us, and choosing hope over fear. Because in the end, that's what defines us, not the mysteries we chase, but the lives we choose to serve. Thank you.